This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222.
One of the things that's been a concern to many patients is when they get to the point where the doctor says, your ovaries have run out of eggs. Sometimes that happens before they even approach an IVF specialist. A GP has done blood tests, their periods are slowing down, they're becoming very irregular, and being told by the GP they're heading towards the menopause. And for many women, obviously that's a disaster, because it means that if you don't have eggs, obviously you're not going to have a baby with your own eggs. So there's been a lot of work done recently trying to work out ways that we might be able to help even those that are in that, what we call the perimenopausal stage. And that perimenopausal stage usually occurs in women in their late 40s, with an average age of menopause in Australia of about 51. But there is a group of women who, sadly, about 1% of all women, their periods cease around about the age of 40 or below. And there are even some situations where they run out of eggs before the age of 30. That's very uncommon, but it does occur. And I've certainly got a number of patients over the years in that sort of category. So running out of eggs, is a problem, because women, not me, are given all the eggs they will ever have in their life before they're born. And they start off life in the ovaries. There are around about 500,000 cells that could become eggs. They're called primordial follicles. Now, when a girl starts to get periods, she's already down to about 200,000. So every month as it ticks by, hundreds of eggs are being lost every month. And eventually that loss leads to a menopause. The women who have early menopause, less than 40, we don't understand it all, but there are some issues that we need to investigate. So it may be they started off in life with less eggs. So when they were in their mum's womb, some event or something has stopped them getting the 500,000. And therefore their curve, if they only start at 200,000, they may run out of eggs by the time they're in their early 20s or even before. That low number of eggs may be caused by genetic chromosomal mutations. There's something called the Fragile X syndrome, and that's associated with an early menopause. There's also a condition called Turner syndrome, where the woman should have 2 X chromosomes and only has 1. Or there are some women who have the X0 that I just described, plus normal XX. But all of those predisposed to running out of eggs early, because probably they didn't get them in the first place. Other things that can make the egg numbers low is if the girl or the woman has had chemotherapy for any cancers or medical conditions where chemotherapy has been required, which has been used to kill off cells, but it also kills off the cells in the ovary. And then that may account for a small percentage of these unusual cases, but it means there's a big gap where we don't actually understand why. But if you're pursuing a pregnancy, obviously you want to do everything possible. So these women, and it also includes women over in their early 40s who are trying to have a baby but have very low egg numbers, as judged by the anti-Müllerian hormone level. If you've got an anti-Müllerian hormone level of less than 1, it means that you've virtually got no eggs left. But there are still some eggs or primordial follicles there. When we do biopsies of these ovaries, we very often find the occasional follicle, and an occasional follicle could produce a pregnancy. So there are various strategies. Once we've excluded the genetic causes, because obviously we don't want to be passing those genetic abnormalities on to any offspring. Once we've excluded those, we tried many different things, none of which, unfortunately, have been proven to be scientifically valid in randomized controlled trials.
And don't forget that you can access all the previous episodes by going to our website www.theivfjourney.com and select IVF Journey podcast from the navigation menu.